Hey everyone and welcome. Well, it's obvious that they'll never learn at this point, isn't it? Now this was a Tory Lord Heseltine to be exact, on Victoria Derbyshire's BBC Smearfest. Now before I play the actual video of him describing what he sees Reform and all of its voters as, and across European countries' parties as, this man's only claim to fame really is the fact that he stabbed Margaret Thatcher in the back and was instrumental in taking us into the EU. Now obviously, this man is just a bitter old dinosaur as far as I'm concerned, and he's bitter because he had a lot of monetary interests in the EU, and he still saw that we had the audacity to vote to leave.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Have a listen to what he says about Reform and its voters, because let's be honest, he's only terrified of Reform because it's got the backing. If it was just Nigel Farage and 5 other MPs, he wouldn't give a jot. It's the backing that he's scared of. In other words, you, everyone, you lovely, rebellious people, the ones that are going to bring down the two-party system one way or the other. And it looks like they're never going to learn. They're never going to be able to adapt to this fact. They're just going to do this.
You described Reform and other parties across Europe today as among the right-wing equivalents of the fascists in the 1930s. Why?
Because he's an establishment man and all he knows is smear and attack your opponents, not with better ideas, because you have none, but with hate, hoping that if they smear enough, some absolute fraggle on the street will Charlie Kirk you. If you think I'm wrong on that, prove it, because that's what all this is. He doesn't think Reform are fascists. He doesn't think we are fascists. He just wants other people to believe that we are fascists. And why would that be when it's such a volatile political world out there? Makes you think, doesn't it? Let's continue it.
That's what they are. The fascists were anti-Jews, and the protest today is anti-immigrant. Depends
which protest though, doesn't it, Heseltine? Depends which protest. If you're talking about the Palestine, that's very anti-Jew, isn't it? Notice the blinker when it comes to that though. Let's continue this diatribe of diarrhea, let's be honest.
But the same arguments, the same sort of human nature is being stirred up. Enoch Powell did the same in the 70s.
And he had 70% of the population's support. Another one that was stabbed in the back from within.
And in the 60s. And it was a wholly destructive contribution to a civilized society.
Reform would say deporting illegal migrants and bringing down legal migration, which he would point to what the Brexit vote was in part about, is certainly not fascist. It's actually listening to the views of the people. That's democracy.
Yes, I know they would, wouldn't they? But you see, it's the stuff about saying that they're all rapists and robbers and criminals. That is,
We never said that, he never said that, and none of our side have ever said that. What we've said is there's far too many criminals compared to the number of people.
Essence of the appeal of Reform. And you've got President Trump doing the same in America.
Absolute codswallop, wasn't it? That was just oozing fear. He knows his party, the Conservatives, we should rename them back, but I don't know, Tony Blair Mark II. He knows that we've decimated them. They're never going to get back in for at least 10 years. And we're doing exactly the same to Labour. Well, I say we're doing exactly the same to Labour. Labour are doing it to themselves. It's Harry Carry on a mass scale. So we'll just leave them to it for now. But I thought I'd bring you this because it's disgusting, isn't it? They're never going to learn. This is a guy that spent his entire career stabbing people in the back. And he wants you to believe him now. F you, F your two-party system, and we're going to crumble a lot of yous. Aren't we, everyone? Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.